guys, I'm Anne and welcome to Chronically Beautiful, where we are trying to live our best life, even though we probably don't feel like it. And today we're going to be talking about some of my favorite headache remedies. As a person with chronic illness, one of my biggest and most annoying symptoms is headaches, migraines, all the time, like all the time. But since I started using some of the things that we're going to talk about today, they have really decreased a lot. If that sounds like something that interests you, keep watching. But first, don't forget to hit that subscribe button. And if you like the video, give it a thumbs up, leave a comment, and don't forget to ring the bell so that you'll be notified of all of my future uploads. All right, guys, let's dive right in. Okay, guys, so first I want to throw a disclaimer out there that this video is going to be lighter options. I'm not going to be getting into hardcore opiates. I'm not going to be getting into cannabis. Any of those types of things. This is a video for all ages and people who might only have access to things you could find at the drugstore, stuff like that. So the first thing that has helped me so much over the last decade or so to have fewer headaches is seeing a chiropractor. If you don't have access to a chiropractor, that's okay. There are other options here, but getting my spine aligned has been something just wonderful for me. My cervical vertebrae are often out of alignment, and that really causes me a lot of pain. So making sure to get in and see my chiropractor as much as possible is a huge help for me. And I'm lucky enough that my insurance covers it, but there are many chiropractors out there who will work for what you can afford to pay, who might have a package deal where you only have to pay $20 per visit. I encourage you to check out all of the local chiropractors. These are people who are about holistic medicine and helping people. It's very rare that you're going to find a chiropractor that is absolutely dead set against helping you if you might have, some financial things holding you back. So do some exploration in your area. I don't like to take a lot of pills and things like that if I don't have to. So one of the first things I do when I feel a headache coming on is go for ice. So I have a few different options here for my favorite ice packs. This one is a good one for travel. I did talk about it in my travel hacks for chronic illness people video. It's just a classic ice bag where you take the lid off and put ice in. And I did recently see these at the Dollar Tree. They're not as cute as this one, but they're there. So this is a great one. I always take it with me when I travel. And then this one, I got this from a physical therapist. I'm not kidding you. When I was in high school, 25 years ago probably, I got this. I have two of them. They're the kind that when they're not frozen, they have like the squishy gel. It's double packed. This side isn't as cold as this side. These are amazing. They're made by Jack Frost. It's Jack Frost made by Allegiance. If you could still find these are the best ice packs ever. They stay cold a really long time and they form around. So wherever I'm feeling the pain, I just pop it on there. I will usually take a bandana and tie it to my head, or sometimes the headache is happening, so I need to put it behind my neck. This is another really cool one. I am not sure where I got this, maybe TJ Maxx or Aldi, one of those places. And this one's nice because it's soft on one side if you don't want the freezing cold, or it's freezing cold on the other side. And you can you could strap it onto your head or around your neck. For me, the very coldest side of the ice packs, some people can't handle that cold, but I like it to be so cold that it literally like almost hurts and numbs you to the point where you don't feel the headache pain anymore. And then you just fall asleep and you wake up and it's okay. So ice packs, I could not live without them. So along the same lines, heat. This is a heat wrap that sits around your neck. A lot of my headaches are caused from tension in my neck muscles and issues like that. It came in a 2-pack, and I wish I could tell you where to get these, but I actually got them at a craft fair. This one is shaped to go over your eyes, and they have little covers that come off that you can wash. They're the coolest thing ever. So oftentimes, if I have a sinus headache, I might want to put heat on my face to kind of loosen things up. If I've got a really bad migraine, I'll put heat around my neck, ice on my head. This is another heat wrap that I have. It came from like the Body Shop or Bath & Body. Earth Therapeutics is the brand on this one. And it's got this like lavender scent to it. And all of these heat ones, you just pop them in the microwave for a few minutes and they get really toasty and they stay hot for quite a while. Doing a neti pot is going to help. So I am a huge, and she's okay. I'm a huge fan of the neti pot. So a neti pot is a nasal irrigation system. So basically what you're doing is you're taking this, I like the squeeze ones because I can just whoosh and squeeze the water through really fast. You may have seen more commonly the kind that look almost like a little teapot and you dump it in. So what you do is you add the little solution. Never do this without the solution because it will feel like you're drowning and really, really hurt, like when you get water up your nose in the pool. So you add this, you add distilled water, boiled water, you run it through, and what it does is cleans out all the sinus gunk that might be in there, allergens, dust. If you've been out doing yard work, there might be dirt in there. I've had leaves come out of mine before, not like a whole leaf, but just like bits of leaves and things. And also, if your sinuses are inflamed and irritated, just running that warm water through is just very soothing. I do a neti pot every morning and every night. Now, some people might say that's too much. I don't care. It's what works for me, and it's one of my biggest helpers for keeping my sinus headaches at bay. Another thing that helps a lot with sinus headaches is just taking a good old-fashioned decongestant. I used to take Allegra D almost every day because I just have such bad sinus problems, but I got diagnosed with hypertension a couple of years ago, and I can't take Allegra D anymore. I can take these little guys though, and they do also contain the pseudoephedrine, which is in Allegra D, but they only last for like 4 hours. And my system can take it if I do one of those, if I'm just dealing with a really bad sinus headache. This is not something I take all day, every day. If you're not used to taking anything like this, it will get you kind of like, ugh. You can take an over-the-counter version of this. So like anything with pseudoephedrine in it, you have to get from the pharmacist, but you could just buy like the Sudafed PE, which is the lighter version, and that will help you as well. Now, I mentioned my hypertension. One of the other things that really helped me a lot is going to the doctor and getting diagnosed with hypertension. When I started taking my blood pressure medication, my headaches decreased so much. So if you're dealing with problems like that and you just cannot figure it out, and you also always feel kind of fluttery and jazzed up all the time, you might be dealing with high blood pressure. You also might be getting headaches from low blood pressure, so it's definitely worth looking into. Same thing with your blood sugar. If you are dealing with any kind of a blood sugar imbalance, that could also be causing headaches. So you want to get to your doctor and try to get to the bottom of the reason for the headaches. That's going to help you the most in trying to stop them. Now, while I do get chronic migraines that will put me down for days, I do not use any kind of prescription migraine medication. I have used them in the past and I just do not like the way that they make me feel. So that's why I try to do all these other types of things. Some more natural items are essential oils. So the two that I really live by when it comes to dealing with really bad headaches, there's a blend called, Young Living makes a blend called Migraine, it's like migraine, and then Fabulous Franny, which is my favorite essential oils, much more affordable, make one called Head Aid. And it's very similar. It has lavender, peppermint, and frankincense. And I'll even do my own blend of those as well. And then if I'm really dying, I just go straight up peppermint. Like nothing helps better. No other oil helps better for me when I have a headache than straight up peppermint. Disclaimer, be very careful when you use this. So you just put 1 drop on your finger, and you just, that's called using it neat. I use it neat, and I just put it wherever I hurt. Here, right in the middle, behind my neck. If you get this in your eye, it will be the worst day ever. So be very, very, very careful. You may even want to mix it and dilute it into a carrier oil, like coconut oil, fractionated coconut oil, or sweet almond oil. Even olive oil will work. And put it on that way so it's not so intense. But I've been using it for years. I really like it. So peppermint oil, go to. Even just smelling it is super helpful. I also go to peppermint tea. I love peppermint tea. It's something I would never just take it and that's the only thing and it helps me, my headache's gone. But it's just a nice support to go along with some of these other things. Take a long hot bath with some essential oils in there with Epsom salt. Just really, really letting that magnesium get into my system and help me to feel better. Or even a hot shower with the hot water pouring down on the back of my neck with ADVIL migraine. Now, I don't think that there is much difference in this between this and regular ADVIL. Each capsule has 200 milligrams in 1 capsule. So maybe that's different. Maybe regular ones have less. So 2 of these guys, if I've just got a regular old headache, they'll work. They look like this. Headaches, but if I am just cannot deal at all, this is my go-to. This is the Meyer brand, but it's Excedrin Tension Headache. Now, I do not take this a lot because I am very, very sensitive to caffeine. And years ago, before I was diagnosed, I would get a migraine. I'd throw back 2 of these guys, and then I'd be sick in bed with the most hideous stomach ache and my whole body just feeling like I wanted to die for 2 days. And I did not understand what was happening. It was the caffeine in the Excedrin that was making my stomach hurt. And the rest of it was that it turned out I was having these Hashimoto's flares and I didn't know, and I was waiting till the last minute till I had this horrible migraine. Oh my goodness, did I have spinach in my teeth? I might have spinach in my teeth. I've been talking to you for 12 minutes. Oh, good. Okay, I remembered that it was in there earlier and that I forgot to get it out, and then I just started this video. Let's just double check. Okay, that's better. So anyways, I was overdoing it with these. So what I do for these is I start with one of them, and I'm so sensitive to caffeine that I have to break it in half. And I make sure that I take it with food, and then I wait a little while, and then if I'm still hurting, I take the other half, and I go a half at a time until I feel better. And 99% of the time, these guys work for me. And I get knocked down, drag out headaches. It's the combination of the caffeine. I think 90% of my headaches are sinus. And so the caffeine in that constricts the blood vessels and kind of takes the swelling away, and it just makes it feel so much better. Something else I highly recommend is yoga. And when you have a terrible migraine, like the last thing you want to do is think about yoga. But I actually did a video about, I don't know, 6 months ago, whatever, last winter, of yoga for migraine relief. I found some information about it and I decided to try it, and it turned out it was awesome. It worked really well. It helped me to catch things. So, doing the different moves and just stretching a little now. Talking about it makes me want to stretch. So when I'm feeling a headache coming on, I don't wait till it's terrible. I try to, wherever I'm at, if I can, if I'm at home or at work in my office, I can take a moment and do some of these stretches, and it really does make a difference. Getting regular massages is another thing I highly recommend. Again, it might not be in your budget, but even ask your partner if they can just massage your neck a little bit. See what they can do to help you out, loosen things up. Like I said, a lot of my headaches, they're caused by either sinus or stuff happening in my neck. And I have these muscles right here called your scalenes. My massage therapist told me that, and I keep calling them scallions. Are very, 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 very tight. And it pulls my spine out of alignment. It gives me these terrible headaches. They also think it might be connected to the fact that I've got TMJ really bad. And if you have undiagnosed TMJ and you're not wearing a bite guard, that could be what's causing your headaches. So think about, do you clench your teeth? Do you find yourself always all tight right here? Even if you don't go to your dentist and get one, just go to the drugstore and get one of those bite guard things. I got mine from my dentist, but they're very expensive even with insurance. And I know that you can get one for like 20 bucks at CVS, and that might help you quite a bit. Years ago, I went to get acupuncture. It was before I was diagnosed. I was desperate. I was sick. I would try anything. Turned out it wasn't for me. I couldn't deal with holding still that long. I only went twice and I just couldn't do it. So I don't know if it would have helped me or not. But one thing that did help is that the practitioner gave me this, a medicated electric balm. And it's all like, it's got characters and such here on it. And the whole thing is, there's a lot of different language things going on here. It's menthol, pretty much, tons of it. Can you smell it? Whew. It's like icy hot meets Bengay meets all of it amped up by a million. It is intense. And that is something it says on there not to use on your face, but I do it anyways. It works really, really well. And it works all over the place. And so I like to use it on my neck, anywhere I'm feeling sore. But something I like to do is put it on my face. I'll do either my hot pad or my cold pack on my face with a cloth in between the two. And invest in some type of massager. They have little manual ones you can buy at the Dollar Tree, all the way up to, electric ones that you can buy that you put around your neck and they do the whole thing, up to, $5,000 chairs. So I am going to do a review video on some of the neck massagers and stretching devices and things that I have, just to show you, but that might be something worth investing in as well. And finally, something that's pretty obvious and where most of us end up when we're dealing with a migraine: in a dark, quiet room. If you are dealing with this bad of a headache, give yourself the gift of leaving wherever you're at, shutting it down, telling the family you're off duty, going in a dark, silent room. That might mean putting an eye mask on. I wear one every night. Earplugs, ice on the face, heating pad on the neck, whatever it takes. Just get yourself all decked out. Have your water and whatnot next to you so you don't have to leave that space. If you vomit from your migraines, you know, have your gear prepared for that. But sometimes you just have to wait it out, and that completely sucks. But it is what it is. Don't be afraid to take that time for yourself. You have to. You're no good to anyone sick. And I know that all of us, especially those of us with chronic illness, feel guilty when we can't do what we're supposed to be doing, when we can't, you know, work, and we can't mom, and we can't wife or husband or any of it. It's bad. There's a lot of guilt associated with that, but you're no good to anybody if you're incapacitated with a horrible headache. So don't feel bad about that. Staying hydrated, super important in helping your headaches. Drinking a glass of water is not going to make your headache go away, but continuing to keep hydrated, even if you feel sick, is really going to help. Something else that helps me is Gatorade. I will drink, what I like to do is put Gatorade over ice and then blend it up. That way I can, too much Gatorade at once is just like too much sugar and yuckiness, but I really like to do that. Having the cold on the roof of my mouth when I drink that icy drink, or even if I eat a popsicle, helps if it's a sinus headache. Having the cold, if I put an ice cube on the roof of my mouth, that helps. Another item that seems silly, but if you wear glasses, you might just need to take them off and you know, massage this area. Are you getting a headache from under here? I get headaches from behind my ears all the time. Are you wearing contacts? Have they been in too long? Are they hurting you? Is your ponytail, are your barrettes hurting you? You know, you might need to take your stuff out and just let everything relax. I mean, try everything. My goal is not to, hey, I look like a rock, like a punk rock kind of chick here. What's up? My goal is to do everything as natural as possible, which means checking all the boxes of silly things like, are my glasses hurting me? Is my ponytail hurting me? Etc. Did I eat a bunch of weird crap today? Do I just need some water? Something that will help you in controlling the pain of your headaches is knowing what is causing the pain. So I mentioned that I get headaches from tension in my neck. I know that getting a chiropractic adjustment, putting heat on my neck, things like that are going to help when it's that type of headache. Something else to think about as well, what are you eating when you have headaches? What time of the month might it be? How much water have you had? I started doing a couple of years ago, I did a symptoms diary and a food log every day. I got this really cute planner from Michael's and I was like, what am I going to do with this? And that's what I decided to do. It had like 2 sections every day. On the top section, I wrote down everything that I ate roughly. And on the bottom section, I wrote down all of my symptoms. And I did that for about 6 months. And I realized that I was having issues from a few different foods. Pork was causing me to have like weird fevers and nausea and almost like flu-like food poisoning kind of symptoms. I realized that I get migraines just before my period every month. And for all of these years, I never put that together before. And so it turned out I was having these hormone-related migraines, which allowed me to kind of look at Pamperin and different things like that. It also allowed me to prepare because I was getting them like almost the same day. It was always the weekend before. And it allowed me to set some time aside because I knew I was going to be sick and to get all the things that I needed. It also showed me like when I have too much dairy, I tend to get a headache. It showed me that if I have too much sugar, I get a headache. It also showed me a lot of things about my stomach that I really didn't know. It helped to clue me in on my blood pressure situation. Keeping a food log and a symptoms log really, really helped a lot. Okay, guys, well, that was my rambling, nonsensical video about how to help fight headaches. I hope that you did get some information from this that you maybe didn't know or perhaps forgot about. I know none of this is rocket science. This is all like pretty common sense kind of stuff, but sometimes we have to be reminded of simple things, especially when we're desperate for relief. Thank you so much for going on this adventure with me today. I would love it if you left a comment below to tell us your favorite headache remedies. All right, guys, keep coming back. Take care of you. I cannot talk. Good thing I have good editing skills. It's brain fog plus trying to do a cohesive video, like not the best idea.